Good morning and welcome, first of all, to the 11th Hampden District. I am State Representative Bud L. Williams, and we're so proud and happy to come to make this ARPA presentation to some of the main men in this country, NABVets, and certainly no stranger to them. Commander Mr. McCluskey and Gene Bryce, all guys I grew up with. And certainly we had good news on day before yesterday. They're not going to close the VA hospital. That was fantastic news. Yeah, that was great news. I want to thank, I know Senator John Velas did a lot of work on that, and we all were behind it, the whole delegation. That was tremendous news. So today, NABVET has been around since, what, 2014, wasn't it, Gene? When we built it. And they do a lot of work in the vet area, service our vets, make sure they get counseling, make sure they get clothing, food on the table, and I know for a fact, taking them on them appointments all over the state. It's a volunteer organization. They don't get paid, and we do always seek funding for them. I want to have my staff, Darrell Williams, who's a retired Navy man, got his Navy hat on too. We're going to have a few words from the NABVets, and we will present the check. First of all, I'm going to ask Ayanna Crawford, who's representing Rep. Ramos, to come up and say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is a great day in the city of Springfield. On behalf of Representative Ramos, we want to congratulate this organization for the fine work that you do, not only in Mason Square, but all over the country. We know that vets are the foundation of what we know to be freedom, and so we want to make sure that you are being taken care of. And so this money from the state delegation is such an honor to be able to be a part of and to see the work that you all continue to do. And so we want to say congratulations and thank you very, very much.
On behalf of Senator Lesser's office, come forward and say a few words on behalf of the senator. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Metch. I'm with Senator Lesser's office, a Constituent Services Director. I don't think I could have said it better than either of you, quite frankly. But we're thrilled to be here to be able to offer some support to population that doesn't often get recognized, and certainly as veterans even did not get recognized for their service and their fight for freedom for our country. So whatever we can do now to continue to support the services to help your organization is a gift. So from us to you and from the federal government to you, please enjoy it and use it well. I know you will.
Thank you.
Good stewards.
It's ironic that this is, as we go into the 4th of July weekend, which is Independence Day for this country, but we just a week ago celebrated Juneteenth Independence Day, and we recognize that as our independence, and we think of the soldiers, especially African-American black soldiers who fought in every major war in this country, starting with the Civil War, Vietnam, police, Korea, Second World War, First World War, Afghanistan, all of them. And the story has it, during the Civil War, you had a president, Lincoln, vacillating back and forth on this issue of slavery. And he decided to issue the Emancipation Proclamation. But the Civil War was a hard and tough war. Lincoln was a very smart man, one of my favorite presidents. He realized that the North and the South were in this struggle. And the South was gaining an edge, a tremendous edge. He met with his, my fault. He met with his this guy's coming, shut up. He met with his generals, and he decided to have black soldiers come into the war. He opened the floodgates. That's real history. And if you look no further than Boston, the 54th, which was the first black regiment of officers in this country, and the black soldiers fought that war because they wanted freedom. They wanted freedom from slavery. And that's why they really fought it. And they went to bat. And the rest is history. It turned the table. I want to thank you, gentlemen, historically, for what you have done. Your legacy runs through all the other soldiers that came and died before us. But that's a real story. So we always have to think, especially the black veterans, that helped turn racism and slavery inside out. At this time, we're going to hear from I'm going to call Commander Francis, who has done a tremendous job. Come on up, Commander. Bring a few words.
While I was standing back there, I was thinking about, it came to mind this battle we had to study when I was on active duty. And it was the Operation Market Garden. And they eventually made a movie out of it called A Bridge Too Far. And the operation was built on a strict timetable. You had to meet that timetable, otherwise it would fail. And it made me think of Bud Williams and this check. And in the movie, there's a piece where the commanding general of the ground forces says to the cavalry, he said, you got to meet this timetable. And the commander of the cavalry said, it would not be proper if the cavalry showed up before the nick of time. And Bud Williams showed up on the nick of time. The only thing we had going for us at that moment when we found out we got the check was having electricity in this building. Everything else was gone. And we were facing the end of what we provided for the community of Springfield and the greater Hampden County. So that check came at we took pictures of it. When it came here, myself and Bernard was in here taking pictures of it because we want to say, is this real? And we got copies of it. But the thing is, I'm the commander, but I'm not the one that really makes things happen. And it's fortunate that we have two of the people here, which is Bernard and Gene. Gene and I served in the military together a long time ago. And he served in our unit a long time ago. Bernard is the mainstay. Gene is the pit bull.
Yeah.
We need something to get done. Bernard takes care of it. If he's having difficulty with something, I'm having difficulty in something, we sick Gene Bryce on him. And he makes sure it happens. So I'm glad they were able to come here today because they deserve much of the credit.
Oh, yeah.
And, our good representative, we spoke on the phone this morning, and I had to thank him again. I thank you, but you did us a real service. So now we feel good because now we can get back into the business of doing what we're committed to do. And the commitment, I'll end on this. My wife tells me I never know when to shut up. But I end on this. We were surviving when the bills came. We passed the hat around the table and go out and pay the bills. lights, phone, insurance, everything. And we, at this end, when I say the nick of time, we didn't have those resources. And the next thing I know, I said, Bernard, it's a check here. But anyway, I want to thank the whole legislation from Western Mass who helped us get this, yourself and the senators and other representatives from this area. We thank you wholeheartedly. And may God continue to bless you guys.
Thank you. The next individual to my left, we call him Mr. McCluskey. Now, me and Mr. McCluskey, we go way back. If you remember the Octagon Lounge, we were there at the Octagon. We weren't in, we were too young to go in, but we were there when that thing happened in Springfield. But at this point, Mr. McCluskey has been on the Veterans Task Force from every governor, I believe, from Patrick to Well to all of them, has served with Donald Jernigan back in the day. But I know the veterans in this Commonwealth. And let's set the record straight. Massachusetts takes care of their veterans better than any other state in the Union. They just do. We make our veterans our priority. So at this time, I'm going to have Commander McCluskey come on up.
I'm going to be brief for a change, which is very rare. It's certainly an honor to just stand here this morning and again echo my commander and Sergeant Major Bryce, the brothers here, and especially our state representative, that this is well needed, but well appreciated. And our job is to continue to do what we try to do our best, is to serve veterans, because veterans are sometimes, as we look to holidays, sometimes people tend to forget that without veterans, where would we be? We are, it's a good day to have fun. It's a good day to get a hamburger on the grill, but it's much more serious than that, because the small amount of people that actually serve is a small amount of people for the amount of people that we have in the country. I'm from the old school. I believe in the draft. I still wish we had the draft. Some countries, such as Israel, whether or not you're a doctor or you sweep the street, you have a veteran's obligation. And I think that's something that we're missing, a lot of good young men and women without that. But again, I thank you so much on behalf of NABVets and on behalf of veterans. Thank you.
Mr. Bryce, the pit bull, and Gene, where's my phone? Out. But always advocating for veterans, 24/7, and also the chairperson of the city's handicap commission. People don't realize that all those handicap signs and placards. He is the man you have to. The committee's man you have to go to. So without further ado, my childhood friend, Gene Bryce. You.
First of all, I think all for coming. You know, we definitely appreciate the check from Boston.
You're gonna drop it down.
Because we all know that the cost of war is not free. You know, we pay for war all our lives. Whether we served or we didn't serve. If you don't believe, if you want to know how expensive the war is, go out to Agawam and look at the Veteran Cemetery. Then you'll see the price of war. And I joined the Army back in 1967. I went to Vietnam, got wounded, came back. I stayed in the military until 1996. And one of the things when I raised my hand to took the oath, I didn't raise my hand to take the oath for those 29 years I stayed in. My oath was for lifetime. My oath was for lifetime. I will serve veterans for my entire life, free. I don't want any money. I'll volunteer. So, because I know the cost. I know the cost. I visited the VA in Northampton. If they had to close that, that would have devastated us. That would have done so much harm to us. And whoever thought of it in the very first place should visit a veteran hospital or visit a veteran cemetery. Because those installations shouldn't be closed down. They should be upgraded. Put money in. We spend billions and billions and billions of dollars going to space. We can spend some money to make our VA hospitals better. And they're getting better. We're getting quality doctors and quality nurses and people working on them now. So that's a step from 40, 50 years ago. Because when I came back from Vietnam, I didn't have the means to go to college and get an education and get a degree and get a good job. As a black man, we came back to one or two things: prison or the graveyard or drugs. That's the honest truth. You either went to prison, went to the graveyard, or we fell into drugs. And I was afraid of all that, so I stayed in. Nowadays, we're making life better. We're known here as the National Association of Black Veterans. We don't only just serve black veterans. We serve all veterans. All veterans we serve. But we must put ourselves out front and continue to stay out front and be the point man for the veterans to come. So I thank you once again for all your generosity, and please don't forget us. Thank you.
We do have Senator Gomez's office represented here. We're going to ask Mary to come forward and say a few words. Thank you.
So I do want to bring greetings from Senator Gomez's office. And he is he's saddened that he couldn't be here today to celebrate such an occasion that you guys are more than deserving of. But more importantly, I do want to thank each and every one of you that did serve our country, because my dad is serving active duty. He's Navy. And as a proud military brat, I understand the importance of our black veterans to our country, because black history is American history. American history is black history. And so I personally cannot thank you guys enough for what you've done, and the continued support, and spearheaded by Rep. Bud Williams, it's momentous. It's fantastic. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm a member of NABVets. That's right. Didn't serve. So we've had a lot of speakers from the military, and we do have females in this organization, I believe. I believe I'm going to ask her to come forward. Mary, come on up and say a few words, please. Were you a lieutenant when you left? Captain. Oh, she left as a captain. She left as a captain.
I'd like to say hello to everyone. I served active duty as enlisted. I switched over to ROTC at Westfield State, became an officer. I kept going to college. At that time, only way for women to get promoted was to get the education, because we weren't into war and we didn't get the medals to get the points for war. So I had to do it through education, but still I continued to go. I'd like to thank everybody. Thank you for the awards that we are here for today. There's still a lot of stuff that we still, as female veterans, still going through, especially with the VA hospitals just coming on board now with services for women, and that's good. I remembered a long time ago when I was active duty, we had to pay for the soldiers' home. The pay was taken out of our checks. But at that time, women weren't they let us know women weren't allowed in the soldiers' home. Oh, wow. But all of that changed now, so I'm glad the change has come about. So I'd like to thank everybody for being here, and that we're still looking to change. Women are serving in combat now. Pay differences, we don't worry about that because the pay scale is across the board. Women now are getting the promotions that we deserved a long time ago, and we still improving. They're still improving. So I'd like to say again, thank you.
Thank you. So we'll have Mr. Bowe coming up since he was in Commander Hampton's battalion. Was he a good soldier, man? Come on up.
He was a character.
Thank
Still
you.
is.
Yes, thank you, State Representative Bud Williams. Thank you for the vets and Gene Bryce's was my sergeant and my captain, Tony. They pushed me hard, and I was a rebellion, but I stuck with it. And I'm proud to be under the leadership of these great men in our community, as well as our state representative. We know that they fought a good fight, and they fought a good fight of faith. That's why they're still here today with us, to continue to fight. And then we have to have a moment silent for all those who served as African-American black men that was on the battlefield for my rights and the civil rights that we have today. So I'm just grateful to be here, and the women. So I'm just grateful to be here at this opportunity, as you see with the men of color health awareness as a spokesman. So we're just grateful for our veterans, and may we continue to keep the vision, the passion, and the commitment in this community to uplift our veterans. Thank you.
Come on, Butch. Come and say a few words. Take us home. Come on, soldier. Then we're gonna present the check.
Okay. I can say one thing. I'm appreciative of my partners who never gave up, fought the battles in country, out of country, and they never gave up on nobody who walked through these doors. You walk through these doors, you can get the help that you need and the help that we need to do for you. So, like I'm saying, it's an ongoing battle, and we'll go to the finish line sooner, but much later. It's on the men. Okay,
And
thank
the
you.
women.
And women.
Desi Jackson coming up. Bring greens. Come on, on behalf of the Old Hill Neighborhood Conference.
Thank you, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Come on up and say it on the thing.
Jesus. Good morning. I'm Desi Jackson from the Old Hill Neighborhood Council. Just want to say thank you guys and congratulations. And thank you, Minister Tony. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Okay. We're gonna do the check now. Okay, how do we want to move the mics, and I think we have to move it.
Yes.
Hey.
We got enough? Come on, Mayor. You and Tony? Commander?
I know, we don't want to do that. We need to go
I don't want,
Hey, there you go.
well, I'm not trying to, just, he's gotta be,
Is it?
you gotta move that mic.
Well, is it because of the tape?
Yeah, you gotta move that over.
There you go. Oh, I thought you
This
wanted.
is on behalf of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Governor Charlie Baker, Lieutenant Governor Polito, the Mass House and Senate, and especially the Springfield Delegation, Senator Gomez, Senator Lesser, Representative Ramos, Representative Gonzalez, and your rep, the lead sponsor, Bud Williams. Congratulations. Hope this money goes a little way to help you, and hopefully more is on the way. We have a delegation, and also I want to thank Senator Vilas. He's up in Westfield. He's a veteran. He's a tireless worker.
Yes, sir.
But we made a commitment, and Senator Gomez, because we have his dad down in the north end who does a great job, And they do a great job for veterans. They do more with less than many other organizations. It is really important that we don't forget the veterans. The silly idea of closing the VA Center, silly idea. But when you talk one thing and you do something else, the spirit isn't right. And we know, as I said, the 4th of July is coming up, Independence Day, also we had Juneteenth, Independence Day. Without these gentlemen and women who have served, freedom isn't free. There's a price you pay for freedom. So thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for all that you have done. And hopefully this will go a long way to help pay some bills, Gene. Thank you.